because they want order, but but I'm trying to shake them up a little.
Good evening. My name is Alan Monica, and I'm an independent candidate for County Commissioner in Grafton County. I have extensive ties to New Hampshire. I grew up in Grafton County. I attended public schools in Grafton County, and I completed my undergraduate education at the University of New Hampshire. And I left the state to pursue career opportunities, and I relocated to Massachusetts. I was there for several years, and then I relocated to Florida. And while in Florida, I completed my master's in social work while working full-time, and a few years later, I completed my law degree, again while working full-time at the University of Miami. I have extensive experience working in government. I work for poverty programs. I've also set up programs for the mentally ill, and one of the programs I directed received a NACO award. I've been a public servant for many years, and I've appreciated my role as a public servant. I also started a law practice while I was in Florida, and I worked primarily in my law practice with middle class, and I was able to serve people at a reduced fee at times, and also did many cases for free. As your county commissioner, one of the things that I would like to do is bring jobs here to our county. I think we have a shortage of jobs. I think our economy in some respects has been stagnant for a while. I would like to work with Enterprise Center in Plymouth to not only bring new jobs, but also try to recruit companies to come to New Hampshire, because we have a great place to live here. I also would like to make sure that our elderly population has the things that they need, and that they receive the home health care that will enable them to remain in their homes for as long as possible. We have a very good nursing home with the county, but our nursing home is pretty much filled to capacity. So we need to develop things for elderly people. I'm an independent candidate. I have no agenda. I have no party platform. I'm here to work for the people of Grafton County. I believe in an efficient government. I believe in keeping the taxes low, and I believe in service to the people. And I'll be very appreciative of your vote, and I will work for the people in Grafton County in an honest and diligent manner. Thank you very much.
All right, and Martha, please.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Martha Richards, your current county commissioner, and I hope to keep it that way. This is my 4th term, and I have thoroughly enjoyed my work up at the county, and as my saying goes, keep proven leadership, because I've done some special things, I think, for the county, and one of the ones I'm especially proud of is getting the wood chip biomass plant built. And it was all investigated through a volunteer citizen committee. And just in this past year alone, we have saved $151,000 for you, the taxpayers, in propane and oil costs. So we've had a lot of energy savings up there and have been unique with that. Plus the geothermal system at our Department of Corrections is doing very well. I also sponsored the 2nd Open Barn Day this year, and it was in memory of our dear late Ray Burton, who loved the county farm and was very supportive of it. But we wanted to continue pointing out the accomplishments of the county farm, which for many of you, there's 10 counties in New Hampshire. We are the only remaining dairy county farm in the state, and very proud of it. We milk about 75 cows. The price of milk is high right now, so we're doing well with it. We have a vegetable stand that our inmates help run, and we bring in about $60,000 there. And through the vegetable stand this summer, we've already given out about 6.5 tons of potatoes to many nonprofit service agencies, so we're proud of that. Plus, having the inmates go around delivering these vegetables is a wonderful community service for them. I know that our county is very well run, and I enjoy working with Mike Cryans and Linda Lauer. It's a very nonpartisan job, and that makes it pleasant for all of us. We just try to do our best for the county. Also, we recently started an alternative sentencing department, which is now an umbrella over the Juvenile Restorative Justice Program, the Mental Health Court, and our Drug Court. And we have a new director as of 2 weeks ago. And we're very proud of that. We're the 2nd county in New Hampshire to have this particular department. And it certainly is more economical and effective to have these people treated in these courts rather than incarcerated. I'm still very opposed to the Northern Pass project and industrial wind projects, and I attend a lot of these meetings. Commissioners do not have a vote on any of the permits, but I think it's important that we stand behind our citizens who are really very opposed to this, all 180 miles of it. We want it buried the whole way, and then New Hampshire gets these revenues from that project. We're very proud, too, of our social services budget. As Alan mentions, we, too, like to support our senior citizens and our youth at risk with these programs. And it's important to keep them in their homes and keep these kids out of trouble through these programs and our money. So you can tell I'm very enthused about what I do. I think I'm effective at this, and I would appreciate your vote. And thank you.
So I think we'll skip to Paul Simard to keep the commissioner group together. I'm sorry.
No,
it doesn't offend you,
problem.
Kelly. So, and we'll keep the commissioners together. And then we have Bill Sharp. Is it Bill? Would you like to join the crew?
I'd be glad to.
Because you are actually one of our county candidates, am I correct? And so, there we go. Why don't I take that? We don't allow press commercial messages. Just let me have that for a second. We're just going to put that right over here.
Where people can see it?
Well, they'll see it. Yes, sir. All right. So, please, Paul, go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Paul Simard. I come from Bristol, New Hampshire. I'm running for the County Commission, District 3, 17 towns. My background is back in 1972, I served in the House. I chaired a joint subcommittee that worked on collective bargaining laws. The laws that currently affect collective bargaining in the state came out of my subcommittee, and I'm kind of proud of that. Served another term just recently and sat on the Finance Committee, sat on Health and Human Services. We had a tough year. We were working with an $800 million deficit, and we came out of that, and I'm proud of what we accomplished. Right now, I'm looking at Grafton County, and in 2010, our real revenues were $13 million. Our 2015 budget projects revenues to be $14 million. It's actually, when you look at the actual numbers, it's about $500,000 increase over 2010. In 2010, we raised $17 million from taxes. In the 2015 budget, we're looking at $21 million to be raised from taxation. So our revenues went up by $500,000, and our taxes went up, or are going to go up, by $4 million. So you can see from that, we can no longer afford to spend the way we're spending. What I recommend is that we look to the future. We look to our needs. We have an aging county. We need to prepare for that, and we need to start doing that now. We need to start a capital improvement program, and we need to focus our resources in the areas that we're really going to need those resources. But I want to plan for the future now, and I want to implement those plans, and that's why I'm running for County Commission. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul. So we're going to switch now to the Register of Deeds candidates, and Kelly, would you please?
Do you want to hit? Oh, I'm sorry.
We'll let Kelly, and then I'll have Bill go.
Thank you, Steve. First, I would like to say thank you very much to all here at Pemmy Baker TV and the Plymouth Area Democrats for all the work that goes into putting this forum together. I'd like to thank the viewers for caring enough about local government to tune in to watch. My name's Kelly Monahan, and I've served as the Grafton County Register of Deeds now for 2 terms. I've lived in Orford for almost 17 years, raising 3 fine sons who are now all off attending college. I'm very committed to transparent government and the sharing of information with our citizens. Our new county website at www.co.grafton.nh.us has a wealth of information, budgets, annual reports, meeting minutes. It's well worth a look. Also, my website, kellymonahan.com, KELLEYMONAHAN.com, is full of information about me and my service to the county. I'm currently the secretary of the County Joint Loss Committee, which examines all risk to lower our liability insurance rates. A member of the Joint Loss Inspection Team, a member of the Benefits and Compensation Committee, which spent 2 years cleaning up some outdated policy and loose ends, resulting in the publication of our new employee manual. I am the member of the Legislative Committee of the New Hampshire Register of Deeds Association, with our most recent accomplishment being a culmination of 2 years of work, producing HB 1122, which was signed into law in June by our governor. This law giving New Hampshire a first-in-the-nation status, charging anyone recording a false document with the NH registries with a Class B felony. I was recently appointed secretary of our New Hampshire RD affiliate. I've been an active voice in the national policy and was selected to a 4-person panel to speak to a national gathering of over 200 Register of Deeds on the subject of MERS, Mortgage Electronic Registration System. In Bristol this past Tuesday at a County Commissioner on the Road meeting at the new Minot Sleeper Library, I announced a library outreach program that I've been working on for over a year and a half. This program will provide free access to our database from the public libraries of Grafton County. In preparing for this evening, I was reviewing past budgets and would like to note that the 4 budgets produced by Mr. Sharp, in comparison to the 4 budgets that I have now produced, the differences were distinct. In comparing the highest and lowest budgets, our 2 highest budgets, I came in $45,000 less than Mr. Sharp's, and in comparing our 2 lowest budgets, I came in almost $100,000 lower than Mr. Sharp's. In closing, I would like to state that I love this job. It's so gratifying to assist our citizens in locating documents that are pertinent to their financial health and well-being. The genealogy aspect of our database is incredible, and we see somebody almost weekly researching genealogy. And I hope that people of Grafton County will recognize my passion for this job and return me for my 3rd term. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. I'm going to switch over here to the other side so the camera can see Mr. Sharp better. Bill Sharp is a candidate for the Register of Deeds as well. Would you like to speak? You have 3 minutes.
Oh, thank you very
Okay.
much. You know, my name's Bill Sharp, and I'm a real person. I was born up the street here. I grew up in Woodstock, not too many miles from here, and that's where I got my first red drum. And I lived in Canaan, growing up, living on the lake. My dad was a Methodist minister, and that's where I learned the difference between right and wrong, including the instructions from my mother. And that's very important to have as a public official. I do not smoke. I do not drink unless it's a hot day on a long parade. And then it would be a cold Coors. I do not use drugs. I do not need to have a bong every day in order for myself to feel good. And I love the work that I did as the Register of Deeds the 4 years previous to Kelly's term. When I entered that office, the records for the deeds were kept on a card no bigger than this. It was the same kind of a card that Harold Eggleston used down at the Canaan Center General Store. And he would write on there how much you owed or how much you paid and scratch out the old number and put the new number. And within 2 days when I took office, I said, what is this over here? What does that do? How much does this cost? Why are we doing that? Can we do without this? And then I ran across the card file. And I said, how much money's in there anyway? And they said $27,000. It was Brenda that had it all figured out. She's got everything figured out. That staff was great. I'm telling you straight. And so I took the cards up to the commissioners, and I said, hey, guess what? I got $27,000 that's unaudited, off the books, and never really accounted for. And Ray Burton says, I never want to see those cards again. So within a week, George Morris had a system set up so that we could just push a button and all of the statements would come out. We would know how much we owed, how much owed us. And I turned to Kelly and I says, to Beth, and I says, Beth, how are we going to handle this money? We owe all this money. And she says, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll pay out $15, $20, $40
Time's up.
a week. And I straightened out the system.
Okay. So just for your information, you'll have 1 minute to rebut as well when we're done. I'm sorry to cut you off, but okay. So now we're going to start back again and ask folks to either expand on what they said or to rebut something that they heard. And we'll start again with Alan, please.
Well, again, I think the key to our future success in Grafton County is we have to improve the economy. We have to get jobs in this area. We have to get people good-paying jobs. I think a lot of the people here are hurting, and I think as a county commissioner, you have a responsibility to try to attract jobs and companies here into New Hampshire. I also like to see if we can expand the university here. I'd like to have a technology center here. I'd like to have a school of medical health here, particularly nursing. I think that's the key. Obviously, I'm not a career politician. I ran because I want to make a difference, and I think I can. I think I have the experience in government, and particularly the credentials to look at programs and to see if they're effective for the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. Martha?
Yes, just to maybe clarify some issues, PSU does have a nursing department here, and as commissioners, I don't feel it is our responsibility to actually go seeking jobs for our citizens. That really isn't within our purview, but we do work with the Grafton County Economic Development Council through our wonderful executive director, Mark Scarano, who was instrumental in getting this enterprise center here in town, and with a great partnership with Plymouth State University. So yes, we certainly are concerned about jobs and keeping our young people in the region, so it's a partnership, but that is not our main job as commissioners. Also wanted to mention the GED program, which is now called HiSET at our Department of Corrections. We have the highest number of high school graduates in the county jail of any county in the state, and because of that, the recidivism amongst that particular group is essentially non-existent. We're very proud of that, and there's even a National Honor Society within the jail when these kids graduate, complete with cap and gown and music and cake. And for some of these kids who were just kicked out in high school, this is a very special ceremony. So we're very proud of this higher education program for them. And on a personal note, okay, thank you all, but I do hope I'll get your vote of support.
Okay, and then we'll go to Paul and try to keep the commissioner group together. Go ahead, Paul.
Thank you, Steve. One thing, with jobs, one of the things that's hampering our growth here in New Hampshire are the electric rates. We pay the 4th highest electric rates in the country. We have public service trying to force Northern Pass down through our beautiful scenery, and our mountains are what generate our tourist dollars and keep our economy afloat. I can't let that happen. I sat on the 361 Commission with Senator Forrester, and we sat there. The front row was taken up by lawyers from these electric groups, and we fought them. We can put Northern Pass underground. The estimate for overhead is $1.2 million. The estimate for underground is $2.3 million, and we had that estimate presented to the 361 Commission. That can be done. Wind turbines around Newfound Lake are going to ruin our scenic beauty. We don't need them. We in New Hampshire produce more energy than we use. We don't need it.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Paul. So now, Kelly, you are up now, and then after
Yes.
you, Bill.
I think in my opening remarks, I've been very clear about what I've accomplished in 4 years, and I hope to continue. I have a question for Mr. Sharp, and that is, why would a voter encourage you to take the office, vote for you rather than me after the 4 years that I've put in? And if you want to answer that in your 1 minute or not.
That will have to be
It's a question.
an open question.
Mhm.
He could
fine.
answer when it's his turn. Are you all set?
I'm all set.
Okay. Mr. Sharp.
Well, it's wonderful to have that kind of a question, you know, because it leaves me open-ended to say that when I left the office, there was $120,000 in the equipment account. And what had been happening before is they were robbing that account in order to puck up the budget at the end. And there's $120,000. I really want to ask Kelly a question. How much is in that account now? Because when I came in, they were robbing the account in order to help balance the budget. The other thing that happened when I went into office is that we went online. I saved the county $878,000 in my budgeting process, which is a zero-based budgeting process. And then also, by going online, we saved the taxpayers between $4 and $5 million. For that, they should be thankful.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. Our county is in good hands and will continue to be in good hands. Good luck to all of you in your races. And we hope you come back and visit Plymouth often. And